Hey y'all, it's Christina and we're going to talk about suicide among veterans, so let's get to it. Oh look, she forgot to say 20 out of 22. I know. According to LA Times, recent veterans have committed suicide at a much higher rate than their civilian counterparts in the same demographic. Surprisingly, a suicide rate is higher among those veterans who have never deployed. And female veterans commit suicide at a much higher rate, as twice as high than those male veterans. And the highest statistic is that veterans who are 3 years out from separating from the military commit suicide. And also the 22 number that has been floating around, and what this challenge is basically based upon, is actually not the rate of how many veterans commit suicide every day. The number is actually much lower, and it's more about less than one a day, but about a little less than one a day. However, I would say to them, one is one too many. So why do I spit out these statistics and facts? Well, it's just those statistics and facts. We gotta know what we're dealing with before we deal with the issue. And yeah, I know they are not the best, but what can you do? That's why we're here. So what are the main reasons why veterans commit suicide? According to the Military Suicide Research Consortium, yes, I know I can't say that word, they state that the number one reason why veterans commit suicide is the desire to end intense emotional distress. And they put that as among many different things, but PTSD, relationship issues, financial issues, depression, and substance abuse, and other addictions that are pretty troubling, like gambling and other bad habits. Yes, I know those things are okay, but with a healthy balance, but with to the extreme. We've discussed this already. How do we combat suicide among veterans? Well, one thing we could do is we could drop the stigma of mental illness or people asking for help. There are many resources that are just not being used because people feel like they can't. They don't want to, either personally or to make them, they think it'll make them look bad. These are my opinions on how we could break that up. 1, surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with friends and family that you can go to when you need help or you feel comfortable with. They're there for the good times and for the not so good times. 2, be okay with yourself to ask for help. If you are having financial problems, be okay to go to a financial advisor. Or if you're having relationship problems, be okay to go to counseling with them or without. And if you're having personal problems, it'd be okay to go to a therapist or a counselor, whether it be group or individual. Therapy is hot and attractive as fuck. Yes. What my friend is trying to say is therapy is hot. You are taking care of yourself. And just like we do with the gym, and take care of our physical being, we need to take care of our emotional being. So what can you do right now? Well, if you could comment and leave a resource that you know, that'd be greatly appreciated. I know a bunch and I will link some below, but I mean, more resources are better. Also, you can help me break the stigma by saying that it's okay to go to therapy, it's okay to go to counseling, it's okay to take care of yourself, and don't treat somebody who has either mental illness or has stuff going on that they do need help, to bring them down and use them as an example of they're weak, because I think the strongest person is the person who asks for help, and the weakest person is the person who just tries to do it themselves but then ultimately fails. So yeah, thanks for listening and thank you. How about you do the push-ups? I did chest day yesterday. What do you mean that doesn't make sense? We're the same person. Okay.
2022.
Cooper, what did you think of the video? Tough critic.